Envious of God, an essential subject from Vinipedia. Because of our envy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we have become envious of all other living entities. When we are no longer envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there will be real peace, unity and fraternity in human society. Due to our envy towards the Lord, we strive hard in this material world to become masters of sense gratification. The Lord has unlimited opulence and therefore we want to be like Him. This mentality of being like the Lord only keeps us in the cycle of birth and death. The Lord is the supreme enjoyer and not even a blade of grass moves without His sanction. Therefore we should understand our constitutional position as eternal servants of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations and letters offer a comprehensive presentation of this essential subject as seen in the Vinikote's Envious of God category. An introduction from his books is given below in the following 10 quotes. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's books. The bona fide spiritual master always engages in unalloyed devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By this test he is known to be a direct manifestation of the Lord and a genuine representative of our Nityananda Prabhu. Such a spiritual master is known as Sriyadeva. Influenced by an envious temperament and dissatisfied because of an attitude of sense gratification, mundaners criticize a real Sriya. Kaitanya Karatamta, DLL 1.46, the Vedas are eternal, so this truth of Krishna consciousness is also eternal. One should have firm faith in this injunction, without envying the Lord. There are many philosophers who write comments on the Bhagavad Gita but have no faith in Krishna. They will never be liberated from the bondage of fruitive action. But an ordinary man with firm faith in the eternal injunctions of the Lord, even though unable to execute such orders, becomes liberated from the bondage of the law of karma. Bhagavad Gita 3.31. Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust and anger, the demons become envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in their own bodies and in the bodies of others, and blaspheme against the real religion. A demoniac person, being always against God's supremacy, does not like to believe in the scriptures. He is envious of both the scriptures and the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is caused by his so-called prestige and his accumulation of wealth and strength. He does not know that the present life is a preparation for the next life. Bhagavad Gita 16.18. Everyone desires to be the greatest personality in this material world. Dva means envy. When one becomes envious of Krishna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one thinks, why should Krishna be the all and all? I'm as good as Krishna. These two items, desire to be the Lord and envy of the Lord, are the beginning cause of material bondage. As long as a philosopher, salvationist or voidist has some desire to be supreme, to be everything, or to deny the existence of God, the cause remains, and there is no question of his liberation. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.27. 20. Even if the highly commentators scholarly are all envious of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even the most erudite scholars write on Bhagavad Gita very inaccurately. Because they are envious of Krishna, their commentaries are useless. The commentaries given by devotees of the Lord are bona fide. No one can explain Bhagavad Gita or give perfect knowledge of Krishna if he is envious. One who criticizes the character of Krishna without knowing him is a fool. So such commentaries should be very carefully avoided. Bhagavad Gita 9.1. Foolish mundaners actually envy our Krishna and deride him as one who is like other mundaners. The truth about our Krishna does not easily enter into the perverted brain of such mundaners infected with the empiric approach to philosophy. But a devoted person faithfully understands just what is actually stated in the pages of Bhagavad Gita and does not resort to imagination or the empiric philosophical approach generally called spiritual interpretation. Message of Godhead, Chapter 2. It is not to be instructed to persons who are too greedy and too attached to family life, nor to persons who are non-devotees and who are envious of the devotees and of the personality of Godhead. Persons who are always planning to do harm to other living entities are not eligible to understand Krishna consciousness and cannot enter into the realm of transcendental loving service to the Lord. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.32.40. The illusory energy is manifested in the duality of desire and hate. Due to desire and hate, the ignorant person wants to become one with the Supreme Lord and envies Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pure devotees, who are not deluded or contaminated by desire and hate, can understand that Lord R. Krishna appears by his internal potencies, but those who are deluded by duality and nescience think that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is created by material energies. Bhagavad Gita 7.27 There are many persons who envy Krishna because he has explained in Bhagavad Gita that he is the Supreme and that nothing is above him or equal to him. There are many persons who are envious of Krishna. Such persons should not be told of Bhagavad Gita, for they cannot understand. There is no possibility of faithless persons understanding Bhagavad Gita and Krishna. Bhagavad Gita 18.67 Those who are conscious of Krishna only as a historical personality or who are envious of the greatness of Krishna should not be told this most confidential part of knowledge. It is, however, sometimes found that even demoniac persons who are envious of Krishna, worshipping Krishna in a different way, take to the profession of explaining Bhagavad Gita in a different way to make business, but anyone who desires actually to understand Krishna must avoid such commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita 18.67